The Student Herald loves the preparedness program which the Polinsys offers. Okay, it's one of the unique programs which is there in Canada, which no other company has. Preparedness program will cost you $295. It is valid for 2 years. Okay, and it takes care of everything. Okay, what the preparedness program does, normally it takes care of your work, what you do, so you can get your job descriptions analyzed right from the beginning, so that we can make modifications to your job. Say, for example, you're a server, how you can go to the next level. These are things you discuss. You will have an AR meeting, authorized rep meeting every month on a particular date. One will be, I think in Polinsys, one is on a Sunday and the other one is on a weekday. Right? Sunday it is morning at 10 o'clock or something like that. Weekday it is in the evening, because weekday we are taking care of Eastern Canada's clients as well. So for them, so every month we discuss provincial opportunities, we discuss federal opportunities, and it's valid for 2 years. Okay. At the same time, you will be submitting your documents to Polinsys. Now, it takes the guesswork and the fear out of permanent residence. You are constantly involved with an AR who advises you on the approaches you can adopt. You can target multiple approaches. Sometimes moving provinces may be better. Sometimes moving provinces will kill you. Right? So these are things which will be determined based on your qualification experience. So that is one program which is the fee is $295 for a 2 year, not dependent on. So when you sign up for a preparedness program, it is not dependent on representation. You can still use representation or not. Okay, but Polinsys normally collects your documents. Okay, in some cases there will be clients who say, hey, when a province comes, they will authorize us to represent them at the province, because provincial nominations, when it happens, some of them nobody knows, and it lasts for a few seconds. We can't even call you to grab an opportunity, right? So sometimes you put money in trust and then you allow us to represent you. So these are things you must think about it at an early stage. 2 year federal and provincial options, meet with an AR once a month, get your job descriptions evaluated, don't lose out on the out of country workers. Now those of you who have work experience outside Canada, you should not sit quiet. Please capitalize on FSW, right? FSW focuses on work experience outside the country. So you can, the same express entry program, your work experience outside the country matters. Okay, so it's very, very important. Don't just think that only work experience inside the country matters. Yeah.
How can you prove your work experience outside the country?
You have to get letters from the employer.
From your country?
Yeah, from the country.
With the job description?
Okay, job description, you have multiple ways to get it. Okay, job description need not necessarily be from the employer. If it is, great. If it is not, it is not possible. It is not a problem. Let's say, for example, if you're working in the military in Pakistan, they are not going to give you a job description, right? Everything is very confidential. You're working in the defense force of a country. They are not going to give you a job description. So there's a way to get it. You can get it from a colleague. You can get it from. There are different ways you can get it. So not necessarily from the company. Sometimes you would have worked in a company several years back and the company closed down, right? There are ways to get job description letters. So that the coordinator who is dealing with your application, they will be advising you and getting that done. Yes.
So, like for example, I worked for my parents for years.
Yes.
As a manager.
Yes.
So we have a family business. Right?
Yeah.
Is that considered as a?
It is considered as work experience if you are paid on a monthly basis.
Okay.
Right. If you have paid and if there is a track of the payment, it is considered.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Okay. There is a conflict of interest issue there, but it can be addressed. Okay. It's only a matter of addressing it. Yeah.
So we have to provide a statement from a previous employer from the country we worked, and also the banking statement proving that we had salary.
Okay. Yeah, salary slips. Yeah, you have to show. Salary slip is very important because the definition of a full-time work means that you should have worked paid full-time. So they want to justify that legal definition of the thing, and therefore salary is very important. Now, some people get paid cash. those people you have to have a money trail. All right, money trail means you must show the ledger of you sign ledger from the company. There are companies who give the sign, or if you have deposited the money in your account, that's all what matters.
Yeah.
Every month you must show that you have deposited. There are.
My question is because let's say, for example, one might work in various countries,
Yeah.
but when you leave the country, you close your banking account there.
Yes.
So how can you prove it that the money was you were expecting, you were getting your salary?
You can get a previous bank statement from the bank.
Can you?
Yes. You can always go, and some banks charge a fee for that, but you can.
What's the name of this program you said?
Preparedness program.
And does it have to be stamped
Okay.
and verified?
No,
Okay.
you can. If you can get it online, get it online. It doesn't have to be verified. It doesn't have to be stamped. Okay, as long as it's a Polinsys Preparedness Program. Again, in the way Polinsys operates is very different. We are a company with multiple ARs. We have multiple branches, so we look at all Canada options. And even after you are represented, for example, you still come for a representation meeting. Right? This is not there in any other company. The AR represents you. That's all. We come for a represent, and you will meet the AR every month, and they talk to you about the status of your file and what other options are. You also need to just applying for one option and waiting is not the way you approach permanent residence, if it is that important for you. Right? Say for example, there might be another province which is much easier, so that will be discussed with you. So again, representation made is also an option, which monthly AR meeting covering provincial and federal options. Okay, now there's also something called the trust payments. Okay, there's typically how much does a representation cost for, say for example, a permanent residence application or the federal program? It costs you around $200 a month for 12 months. Okay, that's the fee. $200 a month you pay for 12 months, and if it takes longer, you don't have to pay after that. If it takes shorter, you have to pay for the 12 months. Okay, that's the fee you have to pay. If it takes longer than 12 months, you don't have to pay. You're still represented until the process is complete. Your representation fees you pay on a month. Then you have trust payments. Trust payments means you're putting money in an account so that the AR can represent you at short notice without getting your permission. Okay, say for example, Saskatchewan opened up, and you're a computer programmer, and Saskatchewan wants computer programming. It's open. It will be lasting only for about 2 hours. You are not available. You have put $800 in the trust money, allowing your AR to grab an opportunity which comes. Okay, and that money will be taken only when you are picked by the province. That means your permanent residence is through. Your only thing. So you put money in the trust. Whenever you put money in a Canadian trust fund, it means that is your money. You can take it back at any time. But if Saskatchewan opens, and if you are picked in Saskatchewan, the money is automatically going for representation. Okay, so that is trust. So you must understand, in Canada you have representation fees and you have trust fees, because you cannot operate today under one fee. We don't sit down and say, hey, you know, many companies do that. You sit down and say, oh, you want PR? Okay, we'll do X%. Okay, then they do X%. We are very proactive. We tell the client what the options are, how to approach various options, and all those things. We normally encourage you to have multiple options. Don't do single option, because you only have that much time within which you have to get your permanent residence, or else the chance goes. So we normally try our best to encourage you to do multiple. Again, it's entirely up to you. Say for example, you have 480 points and you are very highly placed in the express entry pool, then you would only want express entry represented. And we'll tell you, don't worry about it. Just wait for, a month or two. You'll be picked anyway. So that's something which we will advise you.